Hi everyone, let's go ahead and work on our line and pattern bootcamp. So in order to do that, you need to find a blank page in your sketchbook. So I've got that. I'm also going to need one of these templates. These templates are the templates that measure, I believe, 5 inches across. So yes, these are 5 inches by 5 inches. So those are 5 inches square. And then you need a packet of the large letters that are found in the front of the room. And so what we're going to do is begin by, on our page, actually let me find, well, this one's fine. No, I'm going to get it clean. I'm going to take my pattern piece and I'm going to find a pencil and trace this. And as soon as I am finished tracing this, I want to pass this on to someone who needs it, or I'm going to put it immediately back so someone else across the room can use it. So put this back when you are finished. Then I'm going to choose a letter, and since my first name starts with the letter A, I'm going to use the letter A. And so I'm going to put that under my page here and I'm going to trace it. So just know that if you are trying to trace like a B or something on this side, you can turn it so that you can fit whatever letter you want on into your sketchbook. Okay, so please don't cut these in any way. All right, so once I have this, I'm going to go ahead and trace it. Now I tend to use a ruler when I'm doing any of the straight lines, being careful just to trace what I see. And you will hear me say, draw it light until it's right, because you don't want to commit using a lot of pressure on your pencil. You do not want this line to be super dark until you know it is 100% the way you want it, and you don't have any mistakes or errors that you need to erase. So take a minute, and you can see here already that I'm going to have a little bit of erasing to do. So I want to clean that up, but if I had pressed too hard with my pencil, I would not have been able to erase that. All right, so there's my letter A. Okay, so there's my letter A, and then immediately I'm going to go ahead and take this and put this back for the next person. And I want to make sure in each of these sets there should be an entire alphabet: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. And each of them are labeled a set number. So make sure they stay together so all of our classmates have a copy or can have access to that. Now what we're going to do, we're going to focus on two things here. First off, we're going to focus on line and pattern, and then the second is a focus on positive and negative space. So if you think about your letter as being the positive space, that is the thing that we are actually going to be trying to bring attention to. That is going to be our focus, our attention getter, if you will. That is our positive space, and then the space around it becomes our negative space. Now up in the white bookcases, you'll see a great selection of gel pens, and there are also Sharpie markers on the door in the front of the classroom. But some of you may, if you're anything like me, I do like to, I wouldn't say I'm a pen collector, but I do like working with different kinds of pens. So I do tend to keep different pens around just for my own use. So I am just asking you to use at least 2 different types of pens, whether they're Sharpies or gel pens or something that you have on your own. Flare pens work fantastic for this. So that is something that works really, really well for this assignment. So what I want you to do is in Canvas, you will see a worksheet that has examples of line. And I want you to choose 2 of those at a minimum. And you're going to do, actually, you'll probably choose more than 2. You will want to have 1 pattern set of lines for the inside of your letter. And then around the outside of your letter, you can do more than 1. So let's start on the inside of my letter, and let's say I want to try maybe this gel pen. I'm going to test it out over here to see if it is the color I want. And then I'm going to, using the worksheet in Canvas, I am going to start putting lines on my paper inside my letter. Now, my lines that I'm creating here are lines that are joined together, which actually end up creating a shape. Shape is another element of art. Line is the most basic element of art. Shape is another. Space is another. Okay, so we are dealing with positive space and negative space. And since we are repeating this line over and over and over, and in my case, I'm kind of repeating a shape, that is called pattern. So pattern is when we repeat the same exact thing over and over and over. And so you will want to take your time to make sure that you are repeating exactly the same type of line. Okay, so you see that now I have got my entire letter filled with lines, and my lines are joined together, like I said, and they create a shape. And so my letter is done. Before I move on, I am going to take a black fine point Sharpie, and I am then going to carefully outline my letter. And remember, where you have straight lines, you really want to use the ruler to assist you. It is very, very rare that artists can make straight lines perfectly straight without the aid of a ruler. Okay, I think that is about it for my letter. Now I'm going to do some different patterns in the background. So what I want to do first is I'm going to divide my background into 3 different sections. And actually, just for presentation purposes, while I still have my black Sharpie out, I'm going to go ahead and outline my composition space. And then I'm randomly going to divide my background into 3 sections. So I've got 1, 2, 3 sections. And in each one of those sections, I'm going to use a different type of line and a different color. So I think I'm going to start with this. No. I think I want to try this green. All right, so remember, pattern is repeating the same exact thing, the same exact element over and over and over again. So I think to start, I'm going to start by just doing a wavy line. And my wavy lines need to be spaced the same. And I'm taking my time and being nice and neat. And of course, since we are human, the spacing may change just ever so slightly because we are not machines. And that is okay. And actually, this is where you can begin to use a little bit of artistic freedom or artistic license to put your own twist on things. Okay, so there's one section. You will do the same for this section, but using a different line and a different pattern and a different color. And you will do the same for this section using a different line and a different pattern. And remember, I want you using a different tool. Make sure you're using at least 2 different tools for this exercise. Okay. And so there is my line and pattern boot camp. Don't forget to take a picture and you can submit that to the assignment.